Shalom, family. This is Grammy Yah. It is July, so we will do a July garden tour. But also with this July garden tour is, you guys, I've been getting so many squash. Squash are coming out of my ears, and I've been giving them away and everything, and I just cannot keep up. And so what I'm going to do is we will take down our squash house. Yes, let me get around here. We have 2 squash house where I have to get up every morning and I have to hand pollinate the squash. And so now it has come time we're going out of town a lot now and we're vacationing. So I just don't want squash to just be in there and ready and then don't get pollinated. So today we will be taking down the squash house. Yes, it has to come down because like I said, we're vacationing and we're doing a lot of traveling, and now we're just going to let nature take its course. So we're going to probably keep the size on it, but we will take off the top. I just want to just say that this was an excellent idea because we had no problem with the vine borers. The vine borers, the little white butterfly, there's no way that she can get in here and lay her eggs. But now, since we're about to remove the covering, now she probably will be able to get in here. But I will be using 7. I will be spraying the 7 on top of the leaves. I have Papa Yah. Wait, Papa Yah. Yeah, he's taking it down for me, you guys. So, he does, he wanted to make me happy. But, yeah, it's just that we've been kind of like held hostage because, we like going places. And I'm always like, well, how am I going to get my squash pollinated? So I've got a lot of squash, like I said, but he's just taking it down for me. And like I said, my squash, they look very, very healthy for now. Let me get in here. And you see, I got plenty of squash. And see, I've been getting in here and hand pollinating them. Honey, we're going to keep the size, correct? We just taking off the top.
Yeah, just taking the top. Yeah, we'll keep it on here. We'll keep the size on it. Yep. Right.
This is bittersweet because now I know that white butterfly going to be saying, hooray. But yeah, I am going to take precaution, measures. Like I said, I'm going to put down the 7. Matter of fact, let me go get the 7 so I can show it to you. You had to walk over to the greenhouse. And y'all hear that noise, right? I walked past those scissors. And they've been doing a pretty good job keeping the squirrels and the rabbits out of my yard. But the squirrels, they hang along the fence. And the squirrel been stealing my apples. They've been climbing up the tree and stealing my apples. So I'm going to put a picture in here so you can see the squirrel stealing my apples. Yeah, so he's almost finished. We're just removing the top.
There you go.
Yeah, we're going to keep the size for, I don't even know next year, because with squash, you don't supposed to plant squash in the same area year after year because of the squash bugs. They come from the ground. But anyway, I'm going to spray this right here, this 7 on the plants, and this is supposed to help, protect it when the vine borer, when the white butterfly lay her eggs. This is supposed to kill the eggs, and the squash bugs, if they ingest it, that it's supposed to kill them. So we're going to see how it works. So look how healthy and luscious my squash are right now. So we will see, but I've definitely got to get in here and prune, because it was also becoming a jungle. So now I can get in here and prune this squash and just keep a close eye on things and not have to worry about I'm away and how my squash going to get pollinated, So this is going to take a lot of burden off of us, so we still be able to still live our lives as we used to doing. So let me just, you see something, honey?
No, I'm just checking.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you see how thick it has gotten. So I will come through here and I will prune. So we have plenty of flowers. Look like a bunch of male flowers. But this morning I did pollinate her. Okay, and see right there. Let me get you in focus. I missed that one. So this is going to help me to be able to see when the male and the female flowers open up, so I can have more squash. Here are my okra. I've already harvested my okra. I guess they probably about 4 feet tall. Maybe I should have shot the video before I harvested so you guys can see. I've been harvesting a lot. This food been coming in like really, really fast. Here are the Japanese beans. I've harvested these this morning. This one's only about 8 inches long. I usually wait until it gets about 12 inches long, and then I harvest it. There's okra right there. I missed that one. And I've harvested a cantaloupe already, and I have cantaloupe there. Look at the pollinator. Whoa, I'm not trying to get stung. Look at the pollinator, you guys. Doing his job. And then there's a little cantaloupe there. Yeah, and we still have the grapevine covered because the Japanese beetles are still on attack. And here we go. Check out our watermelon patch, you guys. Look at the size of that baby. It's coming on in. It's coming on in. We have one over here. That's a nice size one. Papa Yah, he's going to pick this one up. Yeah. So they're coming in. These are the Charleston Gray. And I also have the Jubilees. The Jubilees. Let me get around here and show you. Yeah, this is the Jubilee right here, I do believe, because it look a little different. So this must be the Jubilee. And it's a nice size. It's the size of a football. And so, yeah, this is our watermelon patch. So we've been pruning and getting rid of extra leaves that was sucking the energy out of the plants. And here we go. Look at this. The Japanese beetles. If you don't know what they look like, this is what they look like. The Japanese beetles. Oh, baby, we got to take this one down. Okay, so we got to take this squash house down too. While he's taking this squash house down, I've been planting more squash, you guys. That's a new squash. That's a new squash. So, I'm still planting in successions. I'm going to show you more squash that I've been planting. So as squash, there's a cantaloupe right there. Yeah, so as my squash been getting tired and dying out, or if the squash bugs suck the life out of them, I still have squash coming in. So you want to plant in successions. And the same with the cucumbers. So I've even planted more cucumbers in successions. And so there's another squash right here. And there's a brand new squash. We planted this about 3 days ago. 3 days ago. And they're already coming up. And I know some of you guys been waiting on the Chinese long noodles. I harvested them already this morning, but I did leave this one on. And this one probably about 12 inches long, but they get like 24 inches long. So yes, I may leave a picture in the video so you can see exactly how long these babies get. Okay, let's see. Papa Yah, he's taking down the other squash house. You know, it's bittersweet because I know what's about to happen. I know what's about to happen, but we're going to just let nature take its course. But I know, this was some great protection. But I know I'm getting ready to say bye-bye. But I'm going to try to hold on to it as long as I can. And see, right here, there's a squash plant right here. It has a flower, but maybe one of the squash bugs got to it. Like I said, it's not 100% foolproof. Yeah. And so here's a squash that I hand pollinated this morning. So, you see, that's a female. So now everything is wide open. We're just going to let the bees do.
There's a pollinator right there. Yeah.
We're going to look, can you see? Look, here they come. We're going to let them do what they do best. Ooh, yes. And the okra, you guys. The okra flower are the most beautiful flowers. They are, hands down. Okra flowers are so beautiful. Let me see, can I really get into focus? Yes. Coming back over here to the squash. All the squash that you see that's coming up, I've been hand pollinated. So now I'm just going to let nature take its course. I'm going to relax. We went out of town and I'm like, honey, we got to get back. I say I miss some squash. I got to hand pollinate these squash. So now it's going to take a lot of the burden off of me. Okay, let me show you peppers. I've been harvesting peppers, you guys. Yes. And I harvested a couple of cabbages since we've since the last video. And here's some more peppers, the banana peppers. They are hot. Yes. And getting over here where my broccoli is, you guys, I'm just going to let the broccoli stay. It is trying to get a little head on it, but it's really not going to give me anything. I think I'm just going to just wait until the weather cools off and try my hand at broccoli again. And here's another cantaloupe. This one look like it's ready. It's because it has the nice yeah. We can take it off. It has the nice yellow color to it. So this one very well may be ready. So that will be cantaloupe number 2. All right, come over here. Here's a squash plant right here. And here's a squash plant over here. And so this one has been out and exposed. This is brand new. And look, like I said, you guys, I got squash. The squash is really coming in. And on this one, nature the pollinator just been doing the job for me. And then we get over here. The package said spaghetti squash, but these are not spaghetti squash. These are butternut squash. So have any of you guys have packages that say one thing, and then when the food comes up, it's something totally different? I was really looking for spaghetti squash, but I'll take the butternut squash. I've already harvested one. I'm gonna take a picture of it and put it in the video. Just pardon that noise. I just went by the sensor, but I've been getting Roma tomatoes, you guys. Yes, I've been harvesting Roma tomatoes, and I think I may have enough now to make something delicious. So we are pruning, getting the bad leaves off of the squash because bugs may think that the plant is sick, and it will attract bad bugs. Okay, yeah. Let's see that leaf. Yeah, so leaves that look like that. Yeah, so they have to come off. So that's what we're doing today. We are getting these bad leaves off. Okay, over here, we went out of town, and they didn't have any water for like a couple of days, so a lot of the leaves turned brown. So what we're doing today, we are getting all the bad leaves out of here, because the bad leaves, it serves no purpose, and we want to make sure that when the flowers come up, the pollinators can see them without any problem. So we're going to get this bed all clean, and I'll bring you back. Here we go. It looks a lot better. We got a lot of those dead leaves off, but it's still a little bit more. But guess what? Our back hurting. We old. Honey, what was that noise?
Your little friends. Since you decided that you wanted a garden, you attract a lot of friends.
A lot of two-legged friends.
Four-legged friends.
Oh, some four-legged friends too. Yeah. Thank God for the fence. If we didn't have a fence, I know we probably would have deer and everything else out here. But the most I've seen was, well, we just have squirrels and the voles and rabbits. Yeah. I can deal with them, but some of them still. All right. Papa Yah, he's raking up all the leaves that we pruned out of this squash house, you guys. That's a lot of leaves. They were, a bunch of them, they were dead. They had powdery mildew on them. So you want to make sure that you get these leaves that have the powdery mildew, the dead leaves. And when you pruning, remember the picture before? That's a big difference. But we always prune behind the flower. Like, let me show you if I can find something to prune. Okay, here we go. So we prune these right here. All right, you see how you have some new squash coming in right here? So since these new squash are coming in right here, we're not going to touch these right here. So basically, if I wanted to, I don't have my shears on me. If I wanted to, I could prune this one, or I could prune that one. But anything above the flowers, we don't prune it. Anything behind it, we can prune it. There's a big difference. At first, I just couldn't even walk in here without stepping all over the leaves. Now I'm going to take this 7 and I'm just going to sprinkle on the leaves. All right? And this is not harmful to pets or humans. It's just when the bugs come, they won't. Even if they lay their eggs and the new babies won't be able to live. So, and the sad part about it is when it rains, you're going to have to reapply it. So I just make sure I got tons of this stuff. So now my plants are very vulnerable to the vine borers and the squash bugs. But one good thing about it is now the pollinators can come in. So basically, it's like a catch-22, you guys. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. I know some people don't even bother growing squash anymore. All right, all done. There you have it. The temporary protection. And like I said, when it rains, I have to do this all over again. But guess what? If that white butterfly lays her egg, the egg will not make it. So this is going to keep the vine borers and the squash bugs at bay. All right, let's get over here to the peaches. We did prune a lot of peaches. We pruned a lot of peaches, and now they are getting larger. They are getting some color. But now we are fighting the pest. So the birds and the beetles are beating us to the peaches. I guess you win some, you lose some. Family, I am done out here. It is hotter than Cooter Brown. One more time. So I'm just going to show you my harvest. So I was able to pull, let me just flip you around. I was able to pull a cantaloupe. And when I pulled it, I noticed that something was trying to get into it. So, but I can smell it. It smells delicious. I'm just hoping that it didn't go all the way through. And I pulled like I said, I thought they were spaghetti squash. That's what the package said. But this is a butternut squash. So I pulled that. I have 2 more over there. I pulled some Japanese long noodles. This is about 12 to 13 inches long. And I also pulled some Chinese long noodles. So this one I know is about 24 inches long. And I just got some peppers and okra and tomatoes and things like that. So I was so excited to get that cantaloupe. That cantaloupe is ready. I just pray that nothing went in there. And my little butternut squash, it's really not little. But anyway, I know I spent a lot of time talking about the squash because the squash, they do require a lot. You know, some people spray neem oil and dish detergent, but we noticed like when we do that, those like burn the plants, and a lot of people say it didn't work. I've used that. I've used let me get out the sun. You know, when you put the aluminum foil around the root or the base of the plant to keep the vine borers from going in that. I've done that. That did not help. I even have a couple of videos showing I did that. And I also used some Monterey BT and the liquid form with a needle and syringe, and I injected that in the root of my plant. That didn't work. So now the sure thing that works is the net. Because with the net, that white butterfly will not lay her eggs on your plants. But the only thing is you still have to deal with the squash bugs. But which, I'm sorry, I thought something was over there, because, you know, them little geckos be out here, and I ain't with them. I thought I had to run the house. But yeah, but the squash bugs, they were really, really at a minimum in my little squash house, because they do come from the ground. But if you're a person and you home all the time and you don't mind hand pollinating your squash, the net or the netting, covering with the netting is the best thing. But I found out that I was kind of like being held hostage, or whenever I went somewhere, I had to come back earlier because I got to go and pollinate my squash. So now I'm just took everything off. I'm just going to let nature take its course. I've been getting an abundance of squash. I've been keeping a log of my squash, my okra, my tomatoes, my everything. I've been keeping a log of everything that I pull from this backyard. And at the end of the season, I'm just going to tally up, and I've been keeping the weight and the quantity of it. And at the end of the season, I'm going to tally up the weight and the quantity. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply that by how much it costs in the store. Like squash right now running like $1.39 a pound. So by the time I tally up all my squash for the year, I'm going to multiply that by $1.39. And I'm going to see exactly how much money I save by having my own garden. So I'm going to do that with tomatoes, my cantaloupe, my cabbages, everything. So that's a good thing that you can do. You can start having a log and just log in what you bring in, so you can see exactly how beneficial it is. Because if you out and you go and get things out of the garden and then you go and take it in the house and cook it and eat it, you really not gauging exactly what you are getting. So I know, I even wrote down, I harvested some collard greens in 4 times, and each time it gave me a nice gallon freezer bag full. So, you know, like things like that. So if you are a gardener and it's something that you would like to do, just get you a regular old notebook and just start logging in the things that you bring in from your garden. And I just went and got a scale. I got off Amazon. What I can do, I can leave that the link to that scale that I purchased from Amazon. It wasn't that much, and I just bring my stuff in. I weigh it, just like, let me get around here. I weighed this butternut squash, and I believe it came in at like 4 pounds. And if it's 99 cents a pound, you know, or I mean, well, not 99 cents a pound. If it's $1.99 a pound and it's 4 pounds, that was like an $8 butternut squash. So yeah, so you know, things like that. So you know, if we're here next year, and you might say, "Oh, Grammy, I wish you hadn't said something about it earlier." I don't know, it just slipped my mind. But if we're here next year, that will be a great thing to do. Just start logging in everything that you bring in. But you can start now. You can start with whatever today's date is, and you can just start bringing in stuff and weighing it and logging it in. So you can see how much money that you have saved by having your own garden and not going to the grocery store for every single thing. So if you give them the power to feed you, you also give them the power to starve you. I love you guys. Y'all know I do. But guess what? I love the Most High more. Shalom. Hit that like, share, and subscribe.